Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakadash, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, salutations to your sincere Akim out there, pushing the truth across the four corners of earth. I want to get right into it, because you have a lot of people who break this scripture down incorrectly. All right, especially these LBGTQ people who at one hand feel guilty because they know that they're doing a bunch of bullshit, but then they try to use the Bible to justify their actions. All right, and you guys who are out there preaching that Abraham was praying for those wicked men of Sodom, you guys are going off. That's completely incorrect. All right, but those he was praying for the righteous, which was Lot. Okay, this is 2 Ezra 37 and 36. Then said I, Abraham prayed first for the Sodomites, and Moses for the fathers that sinned in the wilderness. All right, and Yahweh Shai after him for Israel in the time of Achan. It says Yahweh Shai is supposed to be Joshua, which is pretty much the same thing. And Samuel and David for the destruction, and Solomon for them that should come to the sanctuary, and Elias for those that receive rain, and for the dead that he might live, and Hezekiah for the people in the time of Sennacherib, and many for many. Even so now, seeing corruption is grown up and wickedness increased, and the righteous have prayed for the ungodly, wherefore shall it not be so now also? He answered me and said, this present life is not the end, where much glory doth abide. Therefore have they prayed for the weak. All right, because ultimately, you look at Abraham, he wanted the righteous to live. All right, not these wicked. Don't pray for these wicked ass niggas. All right, Genesis 18, and he had mercy. Just like in the case of Noah, the door had to be shut. All right, it says, and this is Genesis 18 and 20, and the Lord said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous, I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which is come unto me. Right, the report that the Lord received, and if not, I will know. And the men turned their faces from thence and went towards Sodom, and Abraham stood yet before the Lord. And Abraham drew near and said, wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Right, so he inquired about the righteous. Peradventure there be 50 righteous within the city. Wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein? That be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked that be far from thee. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? Right? And the Lord said, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sakes. And Abraham answered and said, behold, now I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord, which am but dust and ashes. Peradventure there shall lack 5 of the 50 righteous. Wilt thou destroy all the city for lack of 5? And he said, if I find 40 and 5, right, 45, right, 50 lacking 5 is 45. If I find there 40 and 5, I will not destroy it. And he spake unto him yet again and said, peradventure there shall be 40 found there. And he said, I will not do it for 40's sake. And he said unto him, O let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak. Peradventure there shall 50 be found there. And he said, I will not do it if I found 30 there. And he said, behold, now I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord. Peradventure there shall be 20 found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 20's sake. And he said, oh, let not. You see, so he's constantly going down because he understands how few righteous are amongst those wicked. All right? He said, Oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak yet this once. Peradventure 10 shall be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake. And the Lord went his way as soon as he was communing with Abraham, and Abraham returned unto his place. And there came 2 angels to Sodom at evening, and Lot sat in the gate at Sodom. See, the Lord sent his angels. All right, just like he just said, I will inquire. What was that at? Was it verse 20? He said, I will go down now, right? And he sent his messengers down in his stead. All right, and what happened? They found all these people here to be wicked. All right, but I'm gonna jump straight to the point. 19 and 15. And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. All right, and if I recall, Lot had a lot of possessions, and he had servants. So I guess those servants, they went into the way of Sodom too. From what you take from the scriptures, those servants weren't called to leave with Lot. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, the Lord being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth and set him without the city. And it came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, Escape from thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain, escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. And Lot said unto them, O not so, my Lord, behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast showed unto me in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die. Behold, now this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one? And my soul shall live. And he said unto him, See, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow this city for the which thou hast spoken. Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou be come thither. Therefore the name of the city was called Zoar. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered unto Zoar. And then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities, and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind, and she became a pillar of salt. Right. All right. So basically, the Lord only dealt with Lot and his family, and even of his family, his wife was still looking back. All right. We always bring this out to show how the Lord is only dealing with a few versus a multitude. All right. There's multiple cities that the Lord sent fire and brimstone from and fucked them up. All right, but back to 2nd Ezra 7. Because he wanted them to repent. All right, it said, damn, it's loud out here, Salaki. It said, in wickedness. 2nd Ezra 7:41. Even so now, seeing corruption has grown up and wickedness increased, and the righteous have prayed for the ungodly, wherefore shall it not be so now? Right. He answered me and said, This present life is not the end where much glory doth abide. Therefore have they prayed for the weak. Right. Does it say, He that faints in a day of adversity, his strength is small. So the elect, those men who make it, those men are strong. And that's where the strength is at, man. The strength is in your spirit. And the Lord is dealing with the strongest of his nation, the first fruits. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time. That's why it says what, too? It says the least of the kingdom. He that does certain things shall be the least in the kingdom. It says, Isaiah 60, it says, a little one shall become 1,000, right? the little one, one of the more insignificant Israelites, they gonna become, great. So you're gonna have levels in the kingdom, all right, which is why the 2/3 is gonna be shamed in the kingdom, because they're gonna be more insignificant. Still gonna be Israelites. They're still gonna be immortal. They're still gonna all that, but it's gonna be levels to it in the kingdom. All right, and that's what's written. And at the end of the day, those are heathens anyway. All right, in a heathen land. All right, the Lord said, He said, wisdom dwells where? In Israel. In fact, let me get that. All right, Sirach 24:8. So the Creator of all things gave me a commandment, and He that made me caused my tabernacle to rest, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob, and thy inheritance in Israel. All right. It said, He created me from the beginning of the world, and I shall never fail. In the holy tabernacle I served for Him, and so was I established in Zion. Likewise, in the beloved city He gave me rest, and in Jerusalem was my power. All right. And it was never meant for us to rest in these heathen lands anyway. All right. Fuck Sodom, fuck Gomorrah, fuck all them different other places. Fuck Egypt. All right. Fuck them. Because guess what? Joseph made Egypt great, but he also said, take my bones. He told him, take my bones to the land that was promised to our fathers. All right, he didn't want to stay there. All right, this is verse 12. I took root in an honorable people, even in the portion of the Lord's inheritance. All right, so even if they want these people to repent, to turn back, or pray for the ungodly, guess what? The Lord, those were the insignificant, the weak. The Lord didn't want them, so He destroyed those people. Just like He's going to destroy this place, which is also likened unto Sodom and Egypt. And just to show you it's a curse, this is Baruch 2, and is it Baruch 2 or is it Baruch 3? I think it's Baruch 3. It is Baruch 3. That's why I had it pulled up. Yep, Baruch 3 and 9. Hear Israel, verse 8, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, all right, which departed from the Lord our power. Hear Israel, the commandments of life, give ear to understand wisdom. How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thy enemy's land, that thou art waxing old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead, right? That's a curse for us not to be in that great land. Right, that's a curse. That's a curse for those heathens to kick us out and to take over. All right, which is prophet. Was that Ezekiel? Oh man, is it 38? Or does it say that it talks about Idumea shall take over my land? All right, that's a curse. That's a curse for us not to be in our land. All right, to have to dwell in Sodom and Philistia and wherever else we were. It was a curse. Assyria, Babylon. That's a curse. All right, matter of fact, let me get that. I've read something that said basically, it's not necessarily in the scriptures. Basically, after going from the heathen land, you washed your shoes off. You didn't want none of it, none of that shit. All right, because Israel is special. Ezekiel 36:5. Therefore, thus saith the Most High, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. All right, that's an example, man. That's a curse for them to be over us and kick us out of our own land. All right. All right, this is Ezekiel 16, but that's part of the memorial of Israel. All right, that's part of our come up. how we, were once in these heathens lands, and then the Lord pulled us out of this place, and then he pulled, those men of the chosen line out of that place. That's why those men are memorialized. What it say? Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. And this is Sirach 16:1. Excuse me for the background noise, but I'm finishing up, man. Bear with me. It says, desire not a multitude of unprofitable children, neither delight in ungodly sons. Right? Because Jacob think it's a numbers game. We got this many, that many. All right. Though they multiply, rejoice not in them, except the fear of the Lord be with them. All right. And that's amongst our people. That's amongst Jacob. All right. Because what does it say? All Israel is not of Israel. And you have the wicked, which have surpassed, they have surpassed Esau. All right. The wicked amongst my people have surpassed the wicked. And that's amongst our people. All right, the sons and daughters of Belial. So how much more, these heathens of this other nation? It says, trust not thou in their life, neither respect their multitude. That's why they're likened unto heathens anyway. All right, we see our people as, the 2/3 are likened unto heathens. We see them as heathens. All right, we see them as people, a strange people. Say a strange vine. All right, trust not in their life, neither respect their multitude. So fuck them, even of our people, if they're wicked. For one that is just is better than 1,000. All right, that's what the Lord was dealing with. That one man and his family. Everybody else, fuck them. And better it is to die without children than to have them that are ungodly. For by one that hath understanding shall the city be replenished. Yeah. All it takes is one. And guess what? You think some sodomites are gonna replenish the city? Hell no. We all heard that parable. If you put 100 sodomite men on the island, 100 sodomite women on the island, and then we all heard that. And you know what would happen? They would die. That's why a lot of these guys who are sodomites, especially Jake, they regret it. All right, they regret that shit because they know that it's a shameful thing. All right, but they want to. It's a demon on them. They want to infect somebody else. All right, it talks about that in Romans. It says, "Many such things have I seen with mine eyes, and my ear hath heard greater things than these. In the congregation of the ungodly shall be a fire be kindled, and in a rebellious nation wrath is set on fire." He was not pacified. He was not pacified toward the old giants, all right, which were heathens, all right. Those like we battled Goliath and the rest of those Philistines. It says, who fell away in the strength of their foolishness. I believe the Philistines were the sons of Canaan. Neither spared he the place where Lot sojourned. Yep, Sodom, but abhorred them for their pride. All right, that alphabet pride. They were trying to molest the angels. You know what I'm saying? They had to be done away with. All right, that's how these people are, man. If the Lord, if the Lord allowed it, they would try to take us and force us to be into that, and the kids too. All right, but the Lord put His Spirit out here for certain men, to rise up with that manly spirit. All right, be able to resist the forces of Satan, and make it so that our enemies can't gainsay against us. There's nothing they can say because they know we're right. All right, and the scriptures say what? But when the ways of a man are pleasing to the Lord, even his enemies will be at peace. So they don't even trip off of us. All right, I remember when we first started, them sodomites used to stop and talk shit, and then like we was gonna just stop and pack up. But no, we're gonna continue to rebuke your silly ass, and then eventually they just, they see us and keep walking. It said, he pitied not the people of perdition who were taken away in their sins. So the Lord pitied them not. Fuck them. It says, nor the 600,000 footmen who were gathered together in the hardness of their hearts. And if there be one stiff-necked among the people, it is marvel if he escaped unpunishment. So, hey, the Lord, one Israelite, they stiff-necked, you know, the Lord will jack them up. It says, for mercy and wrath are with him. He is mighty to forgive and to pour out displeasure. And as his mercy is great, so is his correction also. He judges the man according to his works. And those men, again, according to the law, all right, man life with mankind, that's a sin unto death. All right, so you have to understand the context of what's being said. Those are the judgments of the Lord. This is Ezekiel 16, because it mentions Sodom again, right? In another term of endearment, but you got to understand the context of what's being said. It says, Ezekiel 16:45, thou art thy mother's daughter that loatheth her husband and her children, and thou art the sister of thy sisters which loathe their husbands and their children. Your mother was a Hittite and your father an Amorite. Those are the people who were there in our land before us, who the Lord got rid of. And thy elder daughter is Samaria, right? Those Samaritans. She and her daughters that dwell at thy left hand, and thy younger sister that dwelleth at thy right hand is Sodom and her daughters, right? So all those different, I believe these are all, but basically these are all heathen nations that were round about in the Holy Land. Yet hast thou not walked after their ways, nor done after their abominations, but as if that were a very little thing, thou was corrupted more than they in all thy ways. So we didn't walk after them, but we eventually became more corrupt than all these other heathens anyway. As I live, said the Most High, Sodom thy sister have not done, she nor her daughters, as thou hast done, thou and thy daughters. Behold, this was the iniquity of thy sister Sodom. Pride, fullness of bread, and abundance of idleness was in her, and in her daughters, neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and needy. And they were haughty and committed abomination before me, therefore I took them away as I saw good. All right, so again, it was saw good to take them out, and to get rid of, burn them cities up. All right, as an example for those other nations. Let's see, I got one more. All right, hey, the Holy Land is about to be cleansed, man, because you got modern day Sodomites there now. All right, and it's about to be cleansed. This is Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 1. For thy incorruptible spirit is in all things, therefore chastenest thou them by little and little that offend, and warnest them by putting them in remembrance wherein they have offended, that leaving their wickedness they may believe on thee, O Lord. You notice it talks about brimstone, right? Fire and brimstone. The same punishment is going to happen here, of fire and brimstone. We know it's going to be from ICBM missiles. All right, and then those chariots too, which are going to burn this place up. For it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those inhabitants of thy holy land, whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices, and also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of men's flesh and the feasts of blood. Right. But the point being, man, it was thy will to destroy by thy hands, the hands of our fathers, both those old inhabitants of thy holy land, which Sodom, they never inhabited our holy land to my knowledge. All right, but they were from that same wicked cloth. All right, those same heathens, those Canaanites. All right, all the different sons of Ham who we had to run through, and the Lord gave us power to defeat. All right, so Lord willing, this is edifying. You know, context, man, is everything in the scriptures, because somebody will read that and say, oh, that our sister was Sodom. So those are not our people. They've never been our people. All right, that's why they received the judgment that they received, and that's why those people amongst us who do the same thing are going to receive the same judgment, if not worse. All right, I believe also in the heathens he had what is it called? I was just reading it. Hemorrhoids. Yeah, hemorrhoids. All right, tumors, hemorrhoids. You got them. All right, so hey man, Don't. You don't want to be a heathen in these times, man. You don't want to get burned up and be a bundle of sticks. All right. The Lord has called all to repent. Lord willing, this is edifying. Shalom.